Now I told you these moves were going to build on themselves, and they are, because we're about to move from a 3-count box to a 4-count box. A 4-count box, the words we're going to employ, obviously it's 4 counts, and the words we're going to employ are drop, flip, catch, port. So it looks like this. One more time. What's the only difference? If you said that count 3, you would be absolutely correct. The first 2 counts are building off of the skill that we just worked on in the 3-count box. And again, the hand placement here is very, very important. Remember that we use both hands, pull down, push down, for count 1. When we flip into count 2, we want to shoot to land that pinky in the comb of the stock. This is very important because count 3 is where we begin to get a difference from the 3 count to the 4 count. This is when we introduce that vertical count that's going to be a staple of all the other box movements we do. Now, if you had a little bit of experience with drill, or if you have been taught before, I would guess, because based on experience, this is true in 90% of cases, that when people see this move, it's one of the first movements that people can really teach as a spin. And so what they tell people is, okay, you're here, toss the rifle up and catch it. That will accomplish the mission of getting the rifle vertical, but as you can tell, toss the rifle and catch it can mean just a whole bunch of different things. So we don't like to think about this as a toss and a catch. We actually like to think about this as a moving the rifle into position and then switching our hands just really, really, really fast. What that's going to do is it's going to create precision and it's going to create control of the rifle. When you tell somebody, especially a brand new driller, to take the rifle and throw it from here to a position of one-handed port arms, that's kind of a scary moment where there's a whole big time in there where the rifle's in the air. We want to eliminate that time altogether. So here is how we break that down. Starting from our count 2 position with our pinky in the comb of the stock, our thumb up against the rifle, our hand in the middle of the upper handguard. Once again, we're going to raise the rifle up, and you can do this with me. We're going to raise the rifle up to a position vertical where if we were to grasp, we would be at a parallel angle right here. So what you can see of that motion is that it's kind of a swoop. It goes swoop, right? Up, swoop. And does a little J hook at the very, very end to get it straight up and down in the correct positioning. So let's do that a couple times. We just ready, set, go, and swoop. Bring it back, and swoop, and bring it back. Now it's important that we get comfortable with that motion because that motion is going to be the fundamental execution of that 3rd count. And now we're going to introduce the variables. So that's the base. Let's introduce our other hand. Let's introduce our right hand. So we swoop. As soon as we're done swooping, this top hand is going to come down. Palm is going to open. Our hand is going to flip. Now our hand has remained in this upside down position, but now it's going to flip thumb up, and we're going to grasp the rifle back at port. As you can tell, because my pinky is in the comb of the stock, it's kind of an uncomfortable, awkward position to hold the rifle in right here. It's definitely not a natural position. And so what we're going to do is we're going to open up with our hand and keep the grasp only with our index finger and our thumb. So when we do this, we're here. And see how my hand can kind of pull away, get my fingers out of the way, and I'm just kind of grabbing it here. That's going to give us room to grasp the rifle. So from this angle, you want to watch that closely. We swoop, and then we grab. And our fingers move out of the way to give us a good grasping point at port arm. So this is the exact position of port with our arm parallel to the ground, rifle vertical. So we go swoop and grab together, swoop, grab. So at the end of the swoop, we're already moving to the grab. Now, as soon as we feel our hand contact the rifle, our thumb, if you've ever lit one of those old school matches on a matchbox, I need you to imagine that the thumb is a match. The side of the rifle is the matchbox. And by the time we're done, we kind of want to have a liar, liar, pants on fire scenario where the trouser seam is on fire. So watch what happens. We swoop, we grab, and as soon as we grab, we're going to cut by pulling our thumb down to the position of attention. So watch that again. Swoop, grab at port, cut, and I'm letting my thumb run against the corner of that rifle, so it's a nice short movement, not out and around, nice short movement down to attention. So when we blend that all together, the swoop, the grab, and the cut, we get a motion that looks like this. Swoop, grab, cut. Notice that when I do that, the rifle is never not in a hand. As soon as it's in this hand is going away. So it's actually a handoff of the rifle. So watch that in regular time. Again, we're at count 2. We bring the rifle, swoop, grab, cut. Swoop, grab, cut. And that's going to allow us to control the rifle all the way through that third count. Now, after we've completed the third count, we have drop, flip, swoop, grab, cut. All we need to do to return to port arms is take this hand, bring it all the way up, and clap the rifle. And we wind up back at the position of port. So altogether, that 4-count box, the drop, flip, up, port, or drop, flip, catch, port, that together looks like such. And that is your 4-count box.